Hello everybody, and welcome back. It's week 4. ODU coming off that comeback win against Baylor will take on Florida State. First, a quick look at a few new recruits we've added to the board. Still dominating with Joshua Kemp there in our lead, but Daniel Hayden, a 6'6", 4-star wide receiver, showing a good amount of interest in Old Dominion and looks to have some decent ratings. DeMarcus Bellamy, 4-star halfback, 6'4", looking at a good size running back there. If we can get him, some of these recruits might be a bit of a long shot, but we're gonna try. Even if you don't put any points into them, you still get the bonus points, and you still having them on your board is important because later in the season that could make all the difference in whether or not you get that recruit. And look at this, it is a very wet evening in the legendary Doak Campbell Stadium. As you can see, it's filled to the brim with Seminoles fans. Not an unusual sight for sure. Passionate fan base there, hoping to see their Seminoles succeed today. First ever meeting between these two schools, and first time, of course, as ACC opponents here. And the Noles are led by senior quarterback John Franklin and running back Ryan Green, the two stars of this offense, really. And initially it's both Green and Franklin getting it going, but they can't get a first down. 3 and out on the first drive. But it's a very physical defense that Florida State boasts, and also one of the best in the country. An outstanding defense, very opportunistic, and as we can see here, the ball was a little bit underthrown, a little too much air under it, and was snagged by a Florida State defender. The Seminoles are coming off their first loss of the season. They started off 2-0 and lost in overtime to Duke last week, and Duke is 3-0 now, so they might be a team to watch. But here, Kavon Walker showing his experience playing the pitch man on the option. Beautifully done. So that drive comes into an end, and McCarley looking to pass, a little bubble screen, but no time. No time to throw. It's 3rd and 20 after that sack, and Todd Jackson makes the catch, but he pays for it. This is what I was talking about, a very physical defense. They are going to lay the hammer on you just about every play here. Jones makes the catch, breaks a tackle, but the ball is forced out by Chris Cleveland, scooped up by Roshan Doherty. Then the two linebackers who have been playing together for years now, both making a play there, showing their experience. They've been around for a while. You guys have been watching. It's Cleveland, it's Doherty, and that linebacking group. No success on the next drive, but ODU did pin Florida State back deep in their own territory until John Franklin busts off a huge gain of 52 yards, brought down by Jack Tocho. But that's really demoralizing for the defense. Now it's 2nd down, Franklin looking to throw, and he's going to find Hurd, who can't quite handle it and gets laid out by Rob Thompson. So 3rd down situation here. They are in field goal range. Gonna find Jones, and it's not gonna be enough, hardly enough, for the first down. So they'll go for the field goal, puts it through the uprights. No problem as we enter the start of the second quarter. 3-0 is the lead for Florida State. Both defenses have looked pretty good so far. Option pitch here to Dixon. Solid gain. Gets to about the 40-yard line before ODU finds themselves in a 2nd and 11 situation. Pistol, and Dixon, huge hole to run through, beautiful spin move, but there's a flag on the play, and this will definitely be coming back. There was a reason, well, maybe one of the reasons why there was so much room for him to work with. There's a little bit of clipping on this play, so big setback now, back to 2nd and 10 for ODU. McCarley has nowhere to go. Not only that, but fumbles it, and it's a fat man touchdown. I think we saw about a 6.0 on the Richter scale there. Some minor damage to nearby houses, I think, but no big deal. That's what happens on fat man touchdowns. I think Seminoles fans are okay with that. 3rd down and 4. Chance now to extend the lead after being up 10-0. Now they can get even closer to the end zone, get even closer to taking a 3-score lead against the Monarchs. Ryan Green gets the handoff, nice room to run. Runs right into safety Marcus Massey, but this has been a pretty, as expected, I think, physical game. Florida State's defense physical, and ODU plays a pretty solid defensive game, but right now after the defensive touchdown by Florida State that put them up 10-0. Now it's 17-0, and Monarchs are in a hole again. They were down by 18 to Baylor last week, but can they come away with a comeback on the road? That was in neutral territory last week. This time it's in a tough environment, and Florida State's a very different team from the Baylor team we saw in week 3. So bigger test today. Brandon Ellison spin moves into a huge hit, gets his head taken off practically. My goodness. Second and 4, Lawrence Reese over the middle. As you can see, just about every hit by this defense is just devastating. They are a punishing defense. They want you to feel it. Dixon gets his head taken off. Good grief, 7 yards. But they'll make you pay for it. Look at this hit. Oh, that'll knock your head off. Scott Sullivan comes in to give Dixon some time to recuperate, and no cigar for McCarley on that play. 4th and 15, Tommy Patrick for the field goal. Bounces off the upright and it goes out. He's missed it, and he doesn't miss too many field goals. Tommy Patrick's generally reliable, but this one off the post, and we were hoping it might go in, but it stayed out, and so it remains a 17-0 game here late in the first half. Great option defense, great discipline by Donald Simmons coming off the corner there. And that would be punting situation for Florida State. So 28 seconds. ODU wants to get points before the half. Dixon finds some room around the edge. 12 yards, and well done by number 22. 2nd and 8 with 15 seconds to go. McCarley looking to throw. He was trying to find, it looks like, Nick Carroll there. And oh my. Intercepted. 3rd turnover of the game, and last play of the first half here. Looks like John Franklin's just going to chuck this one up and see if he can make something to further demoralize this defense. Almost intercepted by Donald Simmons. So that ends the half. A frustrating one for the Monarchs. Turnovers and mishaps have been the story of the game. And a lack of offensive production. Only 74 yards of total offense by Old Dominion compared to 143 by Florida State. All in all, not a very offensive game, really. Both teams' offenses have struggled to find consistency, but it's the turnovers by ODU and the opportunistic ways of Florida State's defense that have allowed them to maintain a 17-0 lead here. McCarley, nice job on breaking the initial tackle under center for this 3rd and 1 situation. Dixon gets the first down. Just gotta take it as it comes, you know, just get those first downs. Convert, especially on 3rd downs. Keep pushing. Can't give up now. Came back from being 18 down last week. Anything's possible. Dixon again, 9 yards. Maybe going to ask more of David Dixon and the running backs as a whole in this half. Scott Sullivan can't get it done on 3rd down, though. My goodness. 4th and 1. Thinking about going for it under center. Dixon just gets there. Tackle kind of helps him get forward a little bit more. And somehow ODU keeps this drive going. Got to put it in the end zone, though. Brandon Ellison makes a play. A very reliable receiver. Been a little quiet lately, and it's going to be 4th down for ODU. They couldn't quite convert. And Tommy Patrick is going to put it right down the middle this time. No question about that one. So it's 17-3. ODU is finally on the board. And on 3rd and 9, you can't give up those plays, man. That was way too easy. Another 3rd down for Florida State. Franklin looking for the same play. This time just overthrows it a little bit, but it was there again. It was very possible they could have converted there. 2nd down on ODU's next drive. McCarley, well-timed pitch. Dixon, look at the shifty moves. In wet weather, especially in these kind of conditions, it can be hard to get good footing. So the fact that he pulled that off was very well done. Dixon has been carrying the team in this second half. Big runs by him. 2nd and 10 for ODU. McCarley drops back, gonna go long, looking for Lawrence Reese, who almost comes down with it. Not good enough, though. That drive would end. Punt to Florida State, and now we're nearing the end of the 3rd quarter, down by 14. And Ryan Green is going to blow a hole through the middle. Oh my, gets to about the 20. And that's a real morale killer for the defense, because they were feeling like, you know, they've gotten the hang of things against this Florida State offense, and then Green goes and does that. Start of the fourth quarter, Franklin has a man wide open. How can somebody get that open? Rob Thompson has actually been a bit disappointing so far this season. He's blown a lot of coverages, and perhaps it's been because we've been playing better opponents, but you still got to expect more from a guy who was one of the best in the country last year. Ryan Green, as you saw there, punches it in, runs over, or I guess more runs right through Marcus Massey. That wasn't a very good try by Massey. He got destroyed. 24-3. Big mountain to climb for ODU. Down by 21. Adrian Bush, tight end. You don't see his name called too much, but he'll get the job done. 2nd and 7 out of the pistol. Hand off Dixon. Looks like he's got some room, and he stumbles. And we're going to look at this a little more in depth here. Dixon had all kinds of room to run. As you can see, number 69 has his man, and the pulling guard here is going to take away the linebacker, but Dixon runs into his guard, who not only causes Dixon to stumble, but slows his guard down, pushes him off to the side, ruins what could have been a massive gain, if not a touchdown. And then this happens. That's about pretty much the dagger right there, that interception. Third of the day by McCarley. A very good defense Florida State has, but you would expect better, certainly, from ODU in this game. 2nd and 5 now, looking to really demoralize this defense. Great job there, punching through. Kevon Walker's had a good game. The linebackers for ODU have had a good game, and Jack Tocho nearly comes down with it there. He would have needed to get a pick 6 there, really, to make any difference in this game. Dixon weaving, winding, buying space. Great job there. He's over 100 yards on the day after that run. But they're going to need more than that. After Florida State got a field goal on their last drive, it's 27-3. It's just not the day for the Monarchs. Florida State, big-time program. ODU, upstart program. We still have a ways to go before we can be considered national contenders, but look at Todd Jackson get separation on 4th down. 60-yard touchdown, and maybe a bit of a consolation touchdown, yes, but that's a big play for the freshman receiver, and one that will at least lift the spirits of an offense that really lost its confidence here in the 4th quarter. Ryan Green running guys over. He doesn't even care. He runs his own players over in the process because he wants more yards. That's what kind of player he is. Green will be stopped on 3rd down, so the Monarch defense can feel a little better about itself and hope that McCarley and the offense can maybe punch one more in and make this look a little better on the scoreboard. Going long, looking for Jackson again. He almost came down with it. It got tipped. What a play that would have been. 4th down, a minute and a half to go. Trying to save some face here. McCarley's going to take off and gets the 1st down and a little more. Hoping to get out of bounds to stop the clock, because ODU does not have any more timeouts. Another 4th down. 20 seconds. Again, just hoping for a consolation. Almost intercepted. Intended for D'Angelo Holcomb. That's game. 27-10, a tough road game for ODU. No doubt. Dixon 120 yards, but couldn't get into the end zone. It was one of those days. Tough loss, but we'll move on. Learn from it. First year in the ACC, it's going to happen. We're going to have some tough opponents like this, but I still got to hope for some better performances. I think the biggest thing is the turnovers. That's always been a problem with this in this dynasty, has been turning the ball over a lot and really killing any hopes offensively that this team would have. So, gotta change that at least, you know. If you're going to go up against a team that's a lot better than you in a very tough environment like this, can't be turning the ball over. Franklin had a pretty solid day. I mean, ODU didn't do a bad job defensively considering the ball was turned over 4 times by the offense. I think for the most part the defense did about as well as they could. couple times they gave up some ridiculous plays, but overall, I think the defense stepped up and did what they needed to do for the most part. It was the offense that really let the team down today. Lots of sacks. Don't usually see a lot of sacks given up by our offensive line, but it happened today. So, an unfortunate loss for ODU, but like I said, we move on. We keep going, push forward, do the best we can, get the best result we can out of the season. Ultimately, just want to get to a bowl game this season in our first year in the ACC. Bowl game is the goal. Then we can look forward to next year and trying to accomplish better things here within a big-time conference like the ACC. And that's that, guys. 2-2 ODU is, and 0-2 in the ACC. Got to pick that up. But next up, we've got a home game. Finally come back home. Non-conference game against Georgia State in which Old Dominion is favored. Should be able to pull this one out. Try and lift the spirits of the guys and get some momentum going forward for the season. This is a game that we could really use a win, and a big win, to get rolling. You know, get the confidence, get the guys hot, and maybe pull off some upsets maybe later in the season. We'll see. As you can see, Matt Evans, a linebacker we were looking at, he committed to TCU, so he's no longer an option, but we'll take a look more in depth with that next week. I will see you all then.